right, so we're coming to you live from the JSE, and I'm joined by Owen Nkomo from Nkunzi Wealth Group. Great to have you with us, as always.
Thank you for having me.
So it looks like a pretty good day, even though, I mean, rand-wise, we were always fearing interest rate hikes, but is it the overall picture in the US, perhaps?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's pretty surprising, Francis, because, you know, with the interest rate decision yesterday, yes, it was in the price. It was expected by the market, but usually what's happened before is that when developed economies increase interest rates, you know, we'll see money leaving the emerging markets currencies. So today we're very surprised, but pleasantly slow, so which is great.
And retail sales weren't that great, but the retailers are up, some of them quite strongly.
Yeah, so the retail sales numbers came in at 3% and the market was looking for 5%. So you would have expected that they'll take a beating. But I think the sector has taken a lot of, you know, has been under pressure for the past few weeks, together with the banking stocks as well. But with the firmer currency, people usually go back to buying the retail stocks in the banks because they start reading that maybe we're not going to get any aggressive interest rate increases in South Africa.
Inflation was looking good.
Yes.
It could even suggest maybe a cut if things were better in other spheres of the economy.
Yeah.
But what's holding up our rand? Is it good inflation data? Is it expectations that Cyril Ramaphosa will win? Is it the dollar?
Look, I mean, there's many different combinations, but the best answer and the honest answer is I don't know. You know, I don't know what's holding the currency up, right? But I think people are looking around and permuting that. Look, I mean, I think you know, we have seen a lot of indicators in the economy that have come in positively over the past few months. You know, manufacturing, mining has been recovering. The agriculture sector outperformed in the last quarter, as we saw its contribution in the GDP. So I think people are not exactly very bearish about the South African market. And I think if you look at the JSE having come from above 60,000, I think some people are already looking and saying, hey, maybe it's time to take advantage of some of these stocks that have been oversold from the top. Let's get involved again.
Expecting it to go back up to 60,000.
Exactly. And now on the Cyril Ramaphosa story.
Despite all our woes, it's incredible.
Exactly. You know, we're trading at all-time highs. Currency is not in the dog box. And, you know, we've got this very big event that could happen in the next few days in terms of the ANC election. But I'll take you back to the pre-ratings decision days where all media was saying, if we get downgraded, the currency is going to 15. But in fact, it strengthened. Yes, it wasn't 100% downgrade across all the agencies, but the sentiment pre the facts was so negative. So on the Cyril story, I really think from where I see it is honestly a 50-50 story. We don't have enough information to kind of get a sense of who really is leading this charge, especially given what's happening in Free State and given what's going on in Mpumalanga. I do think surprises could happen, you know, but business is betting on a Cyril Ramaphosa ANC presidency because they do believe that he's on top of his policies and he's probably the best person to take the country forward in terms of an economic recovery. But then again, I really think that given the chances I'm speaking about, we need to start probably factoring in how we will react, even because as an Azuma images actually.
Well, let's look at the scenarios. Let's start with expectation-wise. Cyril Ramaphosa comes in. Will we see the rand strengthen, or is everything priced in? Give me a guess.
I do think that if Cyril Ramaphosa comes in, what the country really is missing right now is confidence. It's all about confidence. We need to get confidence back to local investors, to foreign investors, that, you know, whoever is taking over from President Zuma is probably going to have a different approach, maybe in terms of how the economic policies and the implementation and their views on the government's debt, as we've just seen in the budgets, that we could get a 60% debt number to government debt to the GDP, which is not preferable. The market seems to believe that Cyril Ramaphosa can change the fortunes of the economy and probably change the fortunes of our company's profitability and bring more confidence in terms of investing. But the fact
is, the rand, will it go up?
I do think it will firm up, definitely. I do see it going back to above 13, maybe even 12.80 odd. And I think, more importantly, what Cyril Ramaphosa could pronounce, if indeed he becomes president, will be the most important thing. In the very same manner as well that Nkosazana Zuma, should she be appointed the leader of the ANC, she would have to sell us a proper economic story. How is she going to tackle the South African story? Beyond the talk of radical economic transformation, beyond making sure that we get unemployment sorted out and stuff like that, the GDP of the country starts to grow, then we can react to that rhetoric post this coming weekend.
Given the rhetoric up until now,
Yeah.
what sort of reaction do you expect if she is chosen?
I think there'll be a knee-jerk reaction that may see the currency sell off, and then people start to obviously digest the implications of her being a president in the country. Probably the currency weakens a bit. Maybe there's a little bit of a sell-off in the market. But I can tell you, South Africa has endured so many negative pieces of news over the past 2 years. And both the currency and both our markets have recovered post those bad news. You know, the firing of Pravin Gordhan, the downgrades, you know, the budget that we've just received, the medium-term budget statement that Minister Kigaba issued. We were very pessimistic about it. We thought that this is the end. But a few days later, people, you know, say, okay, let's move on. What's the next risk item? But I believe that the market wants confidence and certainty.
Could a really bad outcome be the collapse of the conference? Maybe delegates walk out, people are not happy with the voting, and there's some sort of standoff. I
mean, look, I think if that happens, it'll be bad. But we've heard from the leadership of the ANC that they are you know, doing everything possible to make sure that the conference happens. So I'm hoping it does go ahead, because we are tired of the uncertainty as the market and as a country as well. We need to know what the future looks like. Okay, my final question to you, because I get it asked a lot.
Yes. Looking at Steinhoff,
yes.
Given the huge fallout, the decline in the share price, is it a good time to invest in Steinhoff? Your take?
Look, it's a tough call, Francis, because there is more information that is yet to be revealed. Today they announced that the 2016 numbers need to be restated. We don't know how that restatement is going to look, but you sit with two scenarios where the 2016 restatement could be very negative and the numbers have to be reversed downwards, and the liabilities of Steinhoff probably become too big, and without confidence in the market that Steinhoff can sort itself out, the stock will probably stay at these discounted levels. But if that restatement is not so big, maybe the stock then recovers, and then you want to be holding the share.
So a bit of a gamble, like Bitcoin.
It is really a gamble, honestly speaking. We just need the information to come out there, because you can't make decisions on an investment where you don't have enough information. Already we've been making decisions around Steinhoff without having the real picture that is a reality, you know, about the Steinhoff numbers. And people bought Steinhoff. Now confidence is out. I don't see the big institutions rushing in to buy it. But then, hey, fortune favors the brave. Maybe, you know, if you're willing to put money that you can lose all of it, or a big bulk of it, maybe you can take a chance and buy Steinhoff.
All right, thank you so much, Owen Nkomo from Nkunzi Wealth. And there you have it, a bit of a gamble if you want to invest in Steinhoff. Predictions for this weekend, hopefully we'll have clarity on both those issues in just a few days' time. But a nail-biting period and huge implications for the markets, depending on which one of these candidates come out tops at Nasdaq. That's a wrap from the JSE.